install this hitch. We're going to install it. So I know we have to move the exhaust and a couple other things. So get underneath there and check it out. We're going to have to drop the exhaust. So I have to remove that mount. And then we have to drop that mount right there and remove the rubber. We're going to remove this plastic, this carpet piece. First thing we're going to do is remove all the clips that hold all this carpet on. And usually what I do is I just use 2 hooks. You just put them inside here. You pull this inside piece out, and then that opens up. So you can see how that compression fits. And when you push it through, it opens those up. It's pretty simple, just like any other body mount. On the 2022 model, there is a foot sensor underneath the bumper that you can swipe your foot to open the door. Looks like I need safety glasses, so let's go get the safety glasses. We got the new Pit Vipers in for this year's videos, and I got lots of ants walking around here, so this is going to be fun. Also, do not cut the trim below the bumper above the hitch square tube. Alright, and then there's 2 10mm screws on each side for me to remove this thing all the way. Looks like 10mm screws. So if you look inside here, you can see 10mm screws here. Bolts or whatever, so we're going to get those out of here. In the next step, you'll see that I removed the sensor that senses your foot when you swipe it underneath the bumper, so you don't have to hit the button if you're carrying stuff. I learned after the fact that I didn't need to remove that or modify it at all. You only need to modify it if the sensor doesn't work properly and it bothers you, which in my case on the left side of the square tube, in the long run it does not work. They have a plate that you can buy from the dealer that moves the antenna, which you can see in this tray, so it works with your hitch install. I noticed after the fact, after I installed this hitch, that it would not sense my foot on the left side of the hitch from the square tube to the driver's side, but it still works on the passenger side. So the tray is $700. I have watched videos. There are videos out there where people modify this tray that I just removed, and you can just zip tie it on and move it closer toward the rear of the vehicle, so the hitch doesn't block it, but it works just fine on the right side of the hitch. So I'll just deal with that. Enjoy the rest of the video. Thanks. Removed the rubber bushings on the tops, and then I had to remove that one right there by the exhaust or by the muffler, and it exposes the frame. The bolt, the frame, or the bracket, and then this all thread, you look at it, it screws in like so. Screw the bolt into the wire and then put the plate on through the other end of the wire and then feed it through the frame. It's pretty easy. Okay, so now, all right. That's it. The easiest route would be to try to get this bolt here first on, and then that should work. That'll hold the main weight. And then I can start weaving the bolts underneath. In the next step, you'll see that I trimmed out the plastic bumper skirt, and after the fact I realized I didn't need to do that. So make sure 100% that needs to be cut out before you go and do something stupid like I did. As I watched the video, it says I needed to trim it out. Obviously, I did not need to trim it out. So that kind of sucks, because you can't really put that back. Yeah. It still works. On these washers, there's a notch. They're notched to bite into the metal. And then also, the washers are conical shape. This is like a lock washer. Make sure to place the notches against the hitch, so when you tighten the nut down, it closes that conical washer up and bites into the metal. It's a lock washer for vibration. Make sure that you tighten up all your hardware before moving on to the next step, putting all the clips back in and the carpet. This next step, there's a bolt that goes through the hitch next to the square tube, and it slides into the tow hook, and then there's a flat plate that covers the tow hook and a lock washer and a nut, and I missed this in the recording. Yes, I'm aware my arms are nasty. I have a skin condition called psoriasis. I think my skin cells are constantly trying to repair themselves, so I'm constantly making extra skin cells. I used a hitch to lift up the exhaust so I can install the rubber bushings. Can't really get that into the frame. All I used was a pair of channel locks and squeezed the rubber bushing. If you're struggling with it, maybe put a little dish soap on it. I had a squirt bottle of dish soap ready to go to lube up the rubber. It really makes it simpler, easier to install the rubber bushings. Right at my left hand, there's a notch that's before the tow hook would slide through that notch, but because the hitch is in the way and bolted in, there's no way to slide the hitch or that tow hook through that slot, so I just notched it out with a die grinder. Now I'm just going to put all the rest of the clips back in that I had removed earlier and put the nuts back on the carpet and finish up all the carpet pieces. In the next step, I opened up the tailgate so I can install the wiring harness, factory wiring harness. I was able to pick it up off of Amazon. It was, I don't remember, about 50 bucks or something like that, 40 bucks. Near the driver's side rear tail light, there's a harness. It's underneath all the trim inside. So you have to pull all the trim out and plug in the harness. Then there's a ground that screws in to the frame. And all you do is plug it in, and then I zip tied it to the wiring harness to the vehicle to keep it from vibrating and moving around. And then you just drop the harness down where the spare tire is. Then whenever you need to use your harness, you just pull the harness out and drop it underneath the door, and then close the door on it. I don't agree with this method, but this is the way they say to do it from the factory, so this is the way I'm going to do it. There's a ground. There's a white connector. Right in there. And that brown plug and the ground strap. So here's the ground strap, here's the ground strap, and here's the plug. And then you just run it down the inside of the fender well here, and then pop out through the hole. And then whenever you need you use the harness, you just open the door, drop it out, I guess, and zip tie it to the hitch. I am definitely rusty with my videos, but I did what I could. Let me know what you guys think. Leave it down in the comment section. Bye.